So you have big ambitions and even bigger dreams. You want to achieve success and live the life you've always envisioned. But there's a catch. You're lazy. You know exactly what needs to be done, yet you avoid it, leading to guilt because deep down you realize you're capable of much more. This guilt lingers for days, weeks, even months, until it eventually turns into acceptance. Then, the new year rolls around, bringing the same goals as last year. You start off strong, driven by motivation and a touch of wishful thinking, but before you know it, procrastination sneaks in, much like that one relative who always arrives unannounced. Soon it becomes a daily habit, and before long you've convinced yourself that you're just a lazy person. So how can you break this pattern and escape procrastination? While there are plenty of videos online, most of them only tackle the surface-level issues, like deleting social media or minimizing distractions. These solutions might work temporarily, but they don't address the real problem, the root cause of procrastination, which can be summed up in one word: inertia. In physics, inertia is the tendency of objects to remain in their current state, whether at rest or in motion, until influenced by an external force. This concept, known as Newton's first law of motion, applies not just to objects but also to our tasks. Starting any task, no matter how small, requires an initial push and energy to overcome this inertia. The real challenge lies in the fact that we often perceive this first push as too difficult, which leads us to avoid the task entirely and seek distractions that provide instant gratification. To break free from procrastination, we must overcome inertia, and there are two ways to do it. The hardest part is getting started, so make it as easy as possible by lowering the stakes and taking the smallest possible step. For instance, instead of thinking, I have to write a 5,000-word essay, which feels overwhelming, tell yourself, I'll just write 50 words. With lower stakes, the resistance to start is minimal, making it easier to begin without relying on willpower or discipline. Another effective method is the 2-minute rule. If you're not in the mood to work, just commit to doing it for 2 minutes, and then stop if you want to. For example, if you don't feel like cleaning your room, play a song, clean for its duration, and stop when the music ends. The interesting part, you'll often find yourself continuing beyond the initial 2 minutes or writing more than just 50 words. This happens because objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Once we push past the initial inertia, momentum builds up, making it easier to continue. At first, it feels like pushing a ball uphill, but once momentum kicks in, it becomes much easier. That's why the key is to make the first push simple and manageable. Just start with 2 minutes. You can apply these strategies to any area of your life, whether it's going to the gym, working on a side project, nurturing relationships, or anything else. As Martin Luther King once said, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step.